Resident Evil 9 just got some exciting news. We got a brand new leak that revealed tons of new details about the next installment in the series. According to the leak, Leon Kennedy and Jill Valentine are back, and this time they're headed to a mysterious island with some terrifying secrets. This leak also confirms some familiar faces returning, new enemies, new storyline and plot details that ties back to the Megamycte saga, and so much more. But that's just a leak. We're also going to talk about when are we going to get the big reveal for Resident Evil 9. With the Game Awards rapidly approaching, we're going to talk about the likelihood of it showing up at that event, which I really hope it does show up, but we'll talk about that in just a bit. Guys, we have a lot to cover, so check the video chapters for easy viewing, and without further delay, let's get started. So let's go ahead and talk about the leak itself. This is coming from Declassified. We'll consider it as a rumor until officially revealed by Capcom, but some of the information is pretty compelling, and it lines up with what we've heard from other insiders. So Resident Evil 9 will take place 4 years after Resident Evil Village. Jill Valentine and Leon Kennedy will be the main characters. Now, we've had rumblings that Leon Kennedy will return, as well as some other characters like Chris Redfield and Barry Burton, who this leak confirms will be supporting characters. Now, for Jill Valentine, they're dressed more tactically, similar to her look in RE5 Lost in Nightmares. And Leon Kennedy is dressed similar to his look in Resident Evil Damnation. They continue on by saying Jill Valentine looks the same as she did in Resident Evil Death Island. However, Leon Kennedy looks much older. So with this game taking place 4 years after Resident Evil Village, we can assume that Leon will likely be around 48 years old with Resident Evil 9. So our dude Leon is going to have a pretty distinguished look to him. I mean, he's going to be 48 years old, so he's going to have a pretty scruffy beard, I'm sure. At least I hope so. Like, that would be kind of a miss if he didn't have a beard. Let's be honest, I think we all want a bearded Leon in the next game, but I'll let you guys decide in the comments. And next up, we have some details regarding the main plot for Resident Evil 9 according to this leak / rumor, and it said this: so Jill from BSAA and Leon from DSO are investigating an island where the company who created Evelyn resides, and they're creating mass clones of Evelyn with the Megamycte. Now, the claim that this game takes place on an island is also lining up with another leak that we've had from Dusk Golem, who said that RE9 takes place on a fictional rural town on an island in the Southeast Asian Sea, inspired by Singapore specifically. The leak then goes on to say that Chris and Barry will support Jill and Leon via radio calls. One mentions Rosemary Winters, and then it says that they will use Rosemary's blood to create a vaccine for the residents of the island, and Jill and Leon will be infected with the Megamycete. The claim was then made that Blue Umbrella will return, and then in terms of the locations on the island itself, it will consist of an abandoned hospital, caves, abandoned houses, dark forests, abandoned factories, a laboratory, and a temple, which that sounds pretty interesting. Now, according to the previous rumor that we talked about on the channel, it also lines up with the fact that the game will take place on a Southeast Asian island inspired by Japan's Miyagi-jima, which this island is known for its volcanic activity, forcing residents to wear masks to protect themselves from the toxic gas. And the previous leak also mentioned that the game will feature a white mold biological threat inspired by real-life fungus, but those details are still unconfirmed. We're not really sure what they plan on doing. So the leak continues on by saying main enemies will be evolved zombies similar to Ganados in Resident Evil 4, as they can also use melee weapons. The zombies in this game also worship the moon and have moon tattoos on their arms, and they can be heard singing to the moon while looking out to the sea. They then made the claim that Leon will be stalked by a constant enemy while Jill will be attacked by the Goat Man. They then confirmed that the antagonist will be called Mr. Simon. Apparently there was 2 recent playtests that took place, one in April and then another one in September, and the April playtest actually had Jill in a section in an abandoned hospital, and then the September playtest included Leon in a forest. And finally, they said that Resident Evil 9 will close the RE7 and RE Village story with the Megamycte. Now, this leak does sound pretty solid. I will say that take it with a grain of salt. We don't know definitively if all of this information is real. However, like I said, a lot of it does line up with other rumors and leaks we've seen in the past. But until Capcom definitively says whether or not it is real or not, like for instance, they drop a trailer, we won't know for sure. So definitely take this with a grain of salt. Like I said, I do think the main beats of the information are real. For instance, Leon Kennedy returning, possibly Jill Valentine as well, but the main one being it takes place on a Southeast Asian island. That's a leak / rumor that we've heard about for a long time now, and it consistently comes up with every leak and rumor that comes out for RE9. And the aspect that I'm the most, like, I would say confused, a little bit upset about with this leak is the fact that the Megamycete saga is not over yet. I thought that was like pretty much wrapped up. I think a lot of people are done with the whole Megamycete thing. everything, and they're ready for the series to just kind of move on. Next up, if you ever wanted evidence that a reveal for Resident Evil 9 is coming sooner than you think, well, this next part will be pretty interesting to you. And that is a brand new Metacritic page for RE9 has surfaced. This happened not too long ago, which kind of suggests that Capcom might be revealing this thing sooner than we think. While we don't have any confirmation about the title or anything really, there was a brand new Metacritic listing recently that showed Resident Evil 9 and it had platforms up PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S, which that might not be definitive proof that Resident Evil 9 is getting revealed soon, but the fact that it was found and it's on there is pretty interesting. Now, this could just be a common thing that they do when a game is speculated to be releasing sometime within the next year. They put the pages live and just kind of call it a day. So whenever the day comes that the game releases, the page is already live. Before we get into when I think this game will be officially revealed, there's one thing that I want to point out with this Metacritic page, and that is there's only a PlayStation 5 and an Xbox copy for RE9 with no mention of PC on this listing. Now, it could be that they're just not going to launch the game on PC at first. It could be that Metacritic just didn't post the PC version at first. Could we potentially get a delay for Resident Evil 9 on PC? Perhaps they're opting to focus on the console optimization first and then release the PC port later. Honestly, I doubt that's going to happen. Capcom has kind of been crushing it lately, so I doubt that they would want to abandon PC players like that. I just don't think that's going to happen, but it's a slight possibility. Again, we're going off of a Metacritic posting. This is not any type of confirmation. It's not even like technically news. It's just kind of a weird, interesting listing that likely doesn't have any correlation to the reveal plans for Resident Evil 9. This brings us to the next topic, and that is, when is the Resident Evil 9 reveal going to happen? Like, are we going to have to wait until next year? Will it be this year? What is Capcom planning? What are they cooking up for us? Like, are we going to get it at the Game Awards? Well, I mean, the Game Awards is coming out next month, and let's be honest, like, if they're releasing Resident Evil 9 anywhere in the first half of next year, them revealing the game at the Game Awards, the biggest night of gaming in the year besides like Summer Game Fest. Like, I'll straight up say right now, if Resident Evil 9 is getting revealed this year, it will 100% be during the Game Awards. The amount of viewership that the Game Awards brings is pretty substantial, and I don't think Capcom is going to want to miss out on that. And that's why I will say again, if they plan on revealing Resident Evil 9 this year, it will be during the Game Awards in early December. But if they don't reveal it during then, they could always wait until Summer Game Fest if the game is being pushed back even later. But I'm not sure. Like, if we get a reveal this year, then that means the 2025 release date is pretty likely. But if we have to wait until 2025 for the reveal trailer for RE9, then I think that the game could easily slip into late 2025, possibly even early 2026. One thing that I've noticed about this year is games that are releasing in 2025 are pretty hesitant about revealing their release date just yet, which that's mainly because of Rockstar Games. We have the reveal window for GTA 6. We know it's coming out in fall of next year, but we don't know if that's definitive. That's mainly the reason why game developers are like, we're gonna wait to reveal our release date until Rockstar's done theirs. That way that they could release the game outside of that window. Like, this has got to be a hard time to be a marketing team, if you're especially game marketing. Like, dude, having to deal with Rockstar Games releasing GTA 6 next year is a pretty tough situation. It gives them more time to develop their games, but I would not want to release my game next to GTA 6 at all. Now the question is if we do get a reveal at the Game Awards, what will that reveal be? Will it be just a random story teaser? My hope is that it's a cutscene that showcases the island that we're on, and then it pans, and then we get to see older Leon Kennedy, hopefully bearded out, because if we don't get a bearded Leon, what's the point? Just don't even make the game at that point. One thing is for sure, I don't think that they give us gameplay immediately. I think that whatever they do will just be a short teaser, and then we'll have to wait until next year to get any further gameplay or a story trailer or anything like that. That will have to be next year. I mean, they could come out swinging and give us a story trailer immediately, but I just don't think that's going to happen. Either way though, guys, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Are you excited for Resident Evil 9? Let me know down in the comments. Do you guys think that this leak / rumor is real? Do you think that there's part of it that's real and then the rest of it's just kind of BS? If you enjoyed my coverage, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel with your notifications turned on, and until next time, this has been Wes, and I will talk to you guys in the next video.